Greetings, welcome to Bardo, my newest Doom map. Let's check it out. Now you can see right off the bat here this big pile of corpses that I'm using the id24 standard. Now this is the Doom plus Doom 2 Kex port, and the pile of bodies is one of many things that's available in that. I'll talk more about id24 as we go on here, but you can see we start off in this room. Somehow you're still alive, a bunch of tormented humans here, and there's health here as well. We may have to come back to this room to heal. So turning this corner, this is the ghoul. That's part of the id24 feature set, I guess I should say. Now, a lot of this stuff comes from old Doom. Shotgun right there. Nice to get. The ghoul was kind of like an early form of sprites that they had created for the Lost Soul. Something interesting about the ghoul is that it actually lines up perfectly with the demon sprite. If you line it up over the pink demon, you can see that it's actually the skull of the demon. I thought that's interesting, but it's reworked here. You know, the original version of the Lost Soul was supposed to fire at you like that, and they reworked it back into id24. Speaking of the demon, once we hit that switch, it lets it open up the next chamber here. And the chambers get more complex as they go on with more enemies, more weapons. There we go. One thing to be mindful of here in Bardo is conserving your ammo, as you'll start to see later on. I used this red brick texture. Somebody mentioned to me it looks kind of like a Wolfenstein 3D map. And that's by design. I kind of wanted this surreal hallways type of, almost like the old Microsoft Maze screensaver. The repeating textures combined with the looping music, here we've got Electric Funeral playing, which I thought would be great in the Doom sound font, but also kind of drives you insane a little bit. I love that Doom feeling. Okay, here's the Banshee. That was another cut enemy that ended up being worked into the Pain Elemental, but they reworked it as kind of like a living fireball there, like the Imp's sort of projectile. The Banshee will rush you and explode, so don't let it get too close. The id24 features are a lot of fun to use. Anyway, like I was saying, I really love that Doom feeling where I've been playing Doom for, hours. And once I'm finished, it feels like my brain is in a small box. I guess that's not a good way to describe it, but Doom does something to you. The sort of elongation down these hallways here, and the way the music kind of presses down on you. So you can see I get a health pack there. There's 4 health packs at the start there in the start room. So you can heal up to 4 times in chunks of 25. You're never very far away from the start at the first section of Bardo here. So it's not too hard to backtrack and heal up when you need it, but you can only heal up to 100. One of the fun things to me about using id24 is they are new features, but they're all derived from some older, recovered, lost material from the creation of Doom. It meshes in together, it fits right in very well, and so you can see one of the things that makes Doom interesting to me is introducing one thing at a time, one type of enemy, one weapon, and then you know, introducing more things, another type of enemy, another weapon, and then putting them together in interesting ways, where you can say, oh, this room, you know, it's a combination of enemies, and then also kind of limiting the ammo that you give the player. This is why you can see me using the chainsaw here, because I really want to conserve my ammo. Now that I'm at 76 health, this is the perfect time to go back and heal. That should give us 2 health packs left back in that start room there. Trying to conserve my ammo with the chainsaw. We're getting into Lost Souls now. It's always good to have this ammo. You can see we picked up a backpack at the beginning. That's definitely going to come in handy later on down the line, but nevertheless, something about Bardo is you kind of never know what's coming around the next corner, what's in the next room. I made the map, so of course I do know. You can see I'm at 76 health once again here. I think it's time to run and heal. But a lot of times you'll have to rush in, die, see what's there, see what kills you. And you can better prepare for it next time and say, okay, I'm going to need my shotgun ammo for that next room, or whatever it might be. A Bardo is in Tibetan Buddhism. It's a sort of liminal realm, a transitionary state of being between death and rebirth. Man, oh man! He put the hurting on me. See, that's one of the things, one of the trade-offs of using the chainsaw to conserve your ammo. You're kind of taking the risk. They don't always flinch. They've got a high chance to flinch with the chainsaw, but they don't always. So let's heal up the last there, 68. That's what we're working with for now. Anyway, when I read the Tibetan Book of the Dead, or the Bardo Thodol as it's called, it's more like a map, really, of the different Bardos. I don't practice Tibetan Buddhism myself, but I found it very fascinating, and my mapper brain, my mapping mind, really kind of took the concept and ran with it. I've wanted to do a map like this for a while. This map, particularly Bardo, took me just about a week from beginning to end. And it is a quick test. Of course, I wanted to keep the visuals surreal. It is kind of disorienting with this red texture and the music. Like I said, that's by design. But I wanted to kind of have a minimalist, surreal type of setting, because what I'm really testing here, like I said, is the rising complexity of the sandbox. As I introduce new enemies and new weapons, and drip feed ammo, that's a concept, that's a sort of philosophy that I want to get down as I make other maps. And, it's getting close to me here. You can never let those things get too close, man. They're like an exploding barrel, is basically what it is, but it's an enemy. They're loud as hell, too. They're scary as well. As you can see, I'm bringing in cacodemons here. And they're big targets. You know, it's okay to use the chainsaw on them, but like I said, they can still chomp you if you're not careful, so... Sometimes it's good to use the chainsaw on the cacodemons if you can corner them, but it's always a risk. It'll save you ammo, but, you know, at what cost? Really, at the cost of health, basically, if you're not careful. Speaking of which, we've got the chain gun here. This is the new weapon. As you can see, it's starting to become more complex. And we got some more ammo there. Now, we're hurting for health. We used all the health at the beginning, so now it's time, I think, to give the player a little more health. This time in the form of the Berserk. And I don't want to get that just yet, in case I take some damage here. Alright, I think it's about time. This is a great way to upgrade a weapon that you always have, a weapon that never leaves your side, your fists, and make it into actually something very powerful. I like using the Berserk in my maps because it's not entirely a new weapon. Like the chainsaw, it's not something you pick up and takes up another slot. It's just takes what would normally be a useless slot and actually makes it very useful. Of course, I only want to give it to the players when I've got other factors as well. For example, you can't really use this against a Cacodemon. I mean, you could, but it wouldn't be right. And so that's something really that I wanted to keep in mind with Bardo. Each chamber is like a combat puzzle, essentially. And you've got to make sure you got the right tool for the job. That's why conserving ammo is so important. Lots of dead bodies around here. Of course, you guys have seen these sort of tormented souls here scattered around the Bardo. Perhaps there are other people that have failed to escape these dark halls, or maybe even the other times that the player themselves has died. I kind of wanted to build a surreal zone here. Okay. Looks like that Cacodemon's taking a sweet time down there. But it's very interesting. I mean, it doesn't add too much, but it's nice to see. It's nice to see corpses, mangled corpses, strewn about. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The Hell Knight now being introduced. That's kind of how you know it's really picking up. We've got more tools at our disposal, the chain gun, the Berserk, but we're going to need them because the more serious enemies are starting to come out here. Yes, every chamber is different. And let's see here. Here now we have the first Revenant. That's not a good sign. These bastards are tricky. A lot of times in Bardo, you'll see this I think a little bit later on as I play, but the enemies really can push you back into the previous chamber, into the previous room. Kind of giving new context, and I designed the rooms with that in mind, giving new context to these rooms. You know, you might think you're done with a chamber, you've already had a fight in it, you've already unlocked the door to the next one, but you can get chased back through there and have to re-navigate it. Yeah, Revenants are quite tricky. I mean, they don't have a ton of health, but they do a lot of damage. Speaking of a lot of damage, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. The super shotgun, that's not a good sign, basically. It's a lot of fun to use, but we're going to need it based on what's coming up next. You see there, the first box of rockets in the map. Super shotgun's nice. One thing I really love is the sort of different, how do I say this, the different expansions to the Doom sandbox, and that's one reason why I was really excited to map with id24. For example, you know, Doom 1 added in just everything, you know, shotgun, chain gun, rocket launcher, the imps, the demons, the barons, stuff like this. The standard, that's the framework, the bedrock of the Doom sandbox, was all introduced in Doom 1. Doom 2 brought in other things. You saw the Pain Elemental right there. You see things like the Revenant, even the Super Shotgun. These are all expansions that come from Doom 2, and one of my favorites, the Archvile. Now you can see there, unfortunately I didn't save. I'm going to jump ahead here. Alright, I'm back. It's very important to save in Bardo. I know a lot of map makers don't really like that you can save and load to kind of, you know, very narrowly beat the maps, but, you know, that's something that is sort of inevitable. It's a feature of Doom. So I designed Bardo with that in mind, that players are going to be saving and loading like that, and the quick save feature is arguably your greatest weapon in Bardo. Keep that in mind. paint elementals, like I was saying, is a great addition to the sandbox, as is the super shotgun. So I find it very exciting that id24 brings in these different features, the Banshee, the Ghoul, of course, but also new weapons as well, the Incinerator and the Calamity Blade. Lots of new monsters come in with id24, and so having all these sort of expansions together, you know, the original Doom sandbox, the Doom 2 expansions, and the id24 all coming together really gives me a lot to play with as a mapper. And I think it really keeps a variety, really keeps things interesting as a player as well. I'm hurting here. I got 6 health here. But it looks like there's some health, some items up there. Go grab that, and of course a Hell Knight. Risk versus reward, and that's something that I really tried to work out. Now I wanted to make it tight as far as ammo consumption and ammo preservation, right? But I think I hit a good balance in Bardo. Let me know what you guys think if you play. Obviously, it's not a perfect map. This is one of my first maps that I've actually finished. I've got a lot of different map projects that I've started work on but never finished, and this idea just came to me out of nowhere. And I cranked it out in a week. I'm proud of it. I'm happy to play it. I find it to be very fun, although it is tricky. Now with Bardo here, you see it's not necessarily your standard Doom-style gameplay as far as sprinting around big areas or anything like that. I mean, I really wanted to go for a more slow and methodical, careful type of gameplay. So if you mind your ammo, and if you peer around corners, and if you have patience, which is not easy to do in Doom, is to sort of hold yourself back and have a little patience. You'll find that these rooms and these fights are not necessarily as difficult as they might seem on the surface. Like I said, every chamber is a sort of combat puzzle, and each one I find has a simple answer. You've just got to really be patient with it and persistent with it. The rocket launcher, of course, is a classic Doom weapon, a lot of fun to use. And looks like that's all it takes. So, getting some rockets, we'll definitely need them here. You see the fuel tank there as well. That's going to come in handy. Looking for the door here. I guess I forgot where I put the door. It is kind of, like I said, it is a little disorienting, and I even get turned around in the vast, sprawling maze that is Bardo. So now, after that battle with the Hell Knights, this is actually the only room, really, with no enemies. This chamber is kind of like a checkpoint, you might say, so you can really get back up, and you're going to need all this equipment for what's coming up next. Once again, that's 4 health packs there, so you can return to this area to heal if need be. Now we see the Arachnotron. That's something that, of course, was added in Doom 2. They'll shoot plasma bolts at you. They've got a good amount of health, too. They're no pushover. But with the rocket launcher, at least for now, they're not too difficult. And scattered amongst the Arachnotrons, I've actually put in these Mind Weavers as well, the Mind Weavers. Now that's something that was added in the id24 expansion. And it's pretty much like a smaller Spider Mastermind, where it's got the same speed, it's got the same health as an Arachnotron. But the Mind Weaver, instead of shooting plasma, actually gives you the chain gun rounds. You know, bullets, hit scan rounds. So I think all in all, it does more damage. It's a more dangerous foe, slightly. And it's sometimes hard to distinguish between the two at a distance. So I thought it was fun in this instance to bring the Arachnotrons and the Mind Weavers together. Here's our first Mancubus. One of the classic Doom enemies from Doom 2. They're no pushover either. Now being out of chain gun ammo, I'm down to the super shotgun, not complaining here. When I recorded this, I had some trouble with this room here. You know, it's not uncommon to have some difficulty with some of these rooms. You see I save here with 22 health. And really what I ought to have done is gone back and healed before I saved. You'll see me have a little bit of trouble with this Mancubus room here. I mean, there's a good amount of cover, but, you know, fighting 4 of them at once on 22 health is not the easiest thing to do here, especially just with the super shotgun, but let's see how I manage this. You know, patience. I'm really getting a little too impatient. What I ought to do, like I said, in retrospect, I really should have gone back and healed up. Okay, there's the second one down. Of course, there's 4 of them in this chamber, in the 4 corners. I'm slowly making progress here, but these guys, I'll tell you, are ruthless. That's 3 of them down. God damn. Come on now. Come on now, boys. Even me, you know, I created the map, and even I find Bardo to be very tricky. I did want to make it difficult. In fact, my only concern really is that it's too easy. As you see here, I finally got the incinerator. This is a fantastic weapon to use. We've been picking up some fuel tanks along the way. And I got some chain gun ammo as well. But like I said, you know, I would hate for Bardo to be too easy. I want people to really engage in this. I find if WADs are too easy and people breeze right through them, they don't really spend time in them. Bardo being difficult sort of encourages people, I think, to spend time in that space. Now you can see here I'm getting quite frustrated and disoriented. The music and the textures are starting to drive me insane. But yeah, I really hope it's not too easy, so some people are just professional Doom players, you know. And, you know, playtesting my map myself, I'm no professional Doom player. It's hard to get a gauge for how easy or difficult it is for others. I just hope I didn't make it too easy. One of my good friends, Winter Solstice, was able to playtest this for me, and he goes by Winter Soul on Doom World. Him and I have worked a lot together in the past with Doom mapping, Quake mapping. He's a real smart guy, but I had him playtest Bardo. And unfortunately, they found him later completely and utterly insane after playing Bardo for 8 hours straight. That's a shame, but, you know, I think some unnecessary sort of sacrifice for Bardo to finally be completed and be released. I'm glad he gave his sanity and sort of sacrificed his mind for the sake of the Bardo. Another Mind Weaver there, speaking of which. I'm nervous here. it's one thing to fight Mancubi up close, but when you're down the hall like this, when you're far away from them, they really kind of have the advantage over you. So I'm kind of waiting for him to come closer. That wasn't that difficult, but I'm paranoid about what's waiting behind this next corner. I know what it is. There we go. One of my favorite enemies, like I mentioned, the Archvile. And so once you trigger the Archvile here, you can run back down the hall and start resurrecting everything you've just killed. Now, of course, I knew the Archvile was there. I was saving my incinerator ammo for it. I'm glad I did. But trust me, I've died to it enough times for that to be sort of burned into my memory there. Those Archviles, if you can take them out quick, that's the way to go. Alright. Okay. We've got 3 Barons of Hell here. They've got 1,000 health. They've got a lot more health. Double the health, actually, than the Hell Knight. They do the same damage, but it's twice the health. The Hell Knight, of course, was introduced in the Doom 2 sandbox, where, you know, it's just as dangerous damage-wise as the Baron of Hell, but with half the health. And he just totally kicked my ass there. That's why saving is important. And so there's different methods, so you don't have to trigger them all at once. If you peer around the corner and you're sneaky... See, I meant to only trigger one at a time there. Looks like I got 2 of them rather than 3 of them, but... that's just fine. I can handle 2. I've got a good amount of ammo here for the super shotgun, not much else. Now, I still did save a lot of that incinerator ammo. I know it's very tempting to use the incinerator because it can really get you out of a pinch. Like a get-out-of-jail-free card. But with a limited amount of ammo, and multiple chambers yet to go, you got to be very careful where you do use the incinerator. Because it's more valuable in certain rooms than others. Like you saw, I saved it for the Archvile. Here's the 3rd Baron. Check out what's next. Got more Barons here. Sneak attack Barons. You know, if you reminisce for a moment, if you remember, it wasn't really that long ago that I was blasting Pinkies and Banshees. Now we've escalated to the point where we're fighting Barons regularly. And so you come a long way in Bardo. You climb the ladder quickly, so to speak. Another one bites the dust. I'm really low now on my shotgun ammo. That's not good. But there's a box of bullets. Come on now. They're hiding behind the corners here. Come on now. And the chain gun, don't diss the chain gun until you try it, because you know it really is good at a steady stream of damage. And at a certain point I decided, fuck it. It's time to bring out the incinerator. I've been saving my ammo for it, and it's just time. Now I'm paranoid here. Once again, this Archvile, if you're not careful, it'll waltz right through and it'll bring up all the Barons you just killed, and that is, I'll tell you, that is hell in a handbasket. So it's good to nip those things in the bud, so to speak. Perhaps I should have demonstrated what that really would have been like, but I'm just not prepared for that. We have the plasma gun here. Wonderful weapon. And here's where things really start to ramp up. Maybe I've said that a few times now, but the difficulty really begins to escalate here. This is a Visago. This is an enemy in the id 24 expansion. And it, kind of like the Hell Knight, is a softer version of the Baron of Hell. The Visago is a more tough version. It's got 1,000 health like the Baron, but it attacks a lot quicker. It can attack very rapidly. And its projectiles stay on the floor, as you see there. And they do radius sort of damage to you. They're very tricky. In my opinion, they're like, you know, the next step up from the Baron of Hell. But, you know, the Incinerator, like I said, the Incinerator really is kind of like a get-out-of-jail-free card. It takes care of a lot of things very quickly. Here we go, there's 2 of them there. So there's 4 Visago in this room. Come on, man. You gotta be very careful with these guys. These are characters you don't want to get up close to. Alright. Looks like I'm good. Moving on to the next room. Grab the rocket launcher because we've got 4 Visago down there all at once this time. Come on now. And, see, I took my own rocket there because I panicked. I mean, these things are badasses. They'll march right towards you. They're not afraid. Come on now. Come on now, boys. Look at that Incinerator. Okay, not so bad, right? Moving on. We've got Archviles. We got 2 Archviles. And they're not shy to just start picking the Visago right back up as well. You can see that in one of my screenshots. Kind of a difficult challenge here. But I made sure to save a lot of Incinerator ammo for this. Is actually quite a difficult room as far as the different chambers go in Bardo. But you can see I've only got 11 health here, but I made sure that's what I was saving my Incinerator for. Now is when things get serious. We're moving on more to boss monsters now. My med kit, what you might refer to as boss monsters. Here's an interesting monster coming up here that you'll see. And you'll see I know how to jump it and take care of it real quick. This is the Tyrant. Now, the Tyrant you can think of as like a Hell Knight is to a Baron of Hell, what a Tyrant is to a Cyber Demon. It's a Cyber Demon with half the health, but all the strength. And it's even got a more green color scheme, similar to the Hell Knight as well. Now those two, when you can isolate them and put them in a corner and just lay into them, not so bad. The Calamity Blade, great weapon. But groups of the Tyrants are a different story entirely here. That's why I'm charging up. We've got 3 Tyrants right here. Come on now, boys. Damn. They do all the damage of a Cyber Demon too, so they're no pushovers, but the Calamity Blade is a lot of fun to play with. This is the sort of analog to the BFG, you might say, that was brought in 24, and the textures that they use here for the Calamity Blade were actually taken from the same model, the Roar Gun model, god damn, that the original BFG sprites were made from. So it is in many ways a close kin of the big fucking gun. Jeez, man. Come on now. I mean, these things don't play around here. They're dead serious. Even though you can see I killed it there, it was a little too late. So, just want to make sure I'm doing this the right way. Patience. That's what Bardo is all about. Patience and never giving up and following your dreams. Okay, these 3 things are dead. Finally. I'm at 39 health. You see, I'm kind of in rough shape here, but I've got the Calamity Blade, so I feel confident I can take on whatever comes next here. Now, you can see right there, I don't know if you recognize that sound. That's the Spider Mastermind in there. You can see the switch is there behind me. We can actually avoid the Spider Mastermind in this chamber, hit the switch, and get to the exit if we really wanted to skip this, but we need that health in there. There's some good items in that chamber, and I'm hurting for health here, so I need to get that thing. Come on now. I mean, they're hit scanners, you know. They're no joke, those spider masterminds. I know in the original Doom, a lot of people thought they were kind of a pushover as a final boss because when they're in a big arena, you know, it's easy to rush them from different angles. In this instance, where the spider mastermind's mostly protected, it's not so cut and dry. Come on now. I mean, they take a lot of damage here. Come on now. There we go. Let's get in there and get that health. Sure, armor. Why not take the armor as well? Now, what's worse than a spider mastermind, folks? I'll tell you. 2 spider mastermind. But with the Calamity Blade, you see they have such a wide hitbox here. It really cuts right through them. The Calamity Blade's a lot of fun to use. And you've got the BFG 9000. 100 health, 100 armor. We're nearing the end here. This is our first proper Cyber Demon. We are now armed to the teeth. We've got every weapon in the game. And we're gonna need them. These Cyber Demons can be quite tricky. Come on now. There we go. Thanks to the BFG. You can see me starting to panic here. I get nervous. Even though I designed the map, I mean, Cyber Demons still make me nervous. You'll see me struggling here with this next room. And what's worse than 1 Cyber Demon, ladies and gentlemen? 2 Cyber Demons are actually back in the corner of this room. I'm trying to trigger just one at a time. I mean, you can see, man, they will one-shot you. They're not shy. So yes, as you can see there's I didn't mean to trigger both of them, but there are 2 Cyber Demons in this room. And lots of items there as a reward if you can kill them. But we've got to get past them first. The Calamity Blade's a lot of fun to use, especially in conjunction with the BFG. They have their own ammo type. Now, utilizing id 24, for the longest time your arsenal had, I don't really have the full HUD there at the bottom of the screen there. I've got the minimal HUD from the Kex port, but, jeez, man, fuck's sakes. I mean, they will blast you. God damn. You can see on the original HUD that, you know, originally it says bullets, shells, rockets, and cells. Those are the 4 ammo types. Bullets, shells, rockets, cells. With id 24, it actually adds not only 2 new weapons, the Incinerator and the Calamity Blade, but also a whole new ammo type. Fuck's sakes, man. They're kicking my ass here. You know, the fuel. So they updated the HUD to include fuel as well. And having that is great, especially, goddamn, at the end of the game here. You know, utilizing the Calamity Blade and the BFG back to back, it's real nice to have 2 separate pools of ammo to draw from. Come on now. I've been trying to study more about how the, fuck's sakes, man. I can't even escape them. I've been trying to study more about how the BFG calculates its damage. The BFG is a legendary weapon. It is the most powerful weapon in Doom. Maybe not counting the Calamity Blade. I guess the jury's still out on that, but nevertheless, you can see the different chambers we've been through. Nevertheless, the Calamity Blade, rather the BFG, the damage it does can vary. can vary a lot as well. And I'm starting to get a better feel for it as time goes on here. Come on now, boys. Fuck. Hitting this Calamity Blade. You can, of course, charge it to 4 levels of charge. And the smallest one, I believe it uses 20 fuel each level. The just simple level of charge I was using there is narrow enough to fit down this hallway. And it still does a hell of a lot of damage. As you saw there with the Spider Masterminds, you know, I was able to one-shot the Spider Masterminds with the Calamity Blade, and that was partially due to, like I said, how large their hitbox is, how wide they are. But also, the Calamity Blade, the closer you are to the enemy, the more damage you're doing to them. Come on now. Boom. I'm trying to get some close-up shots here. The thing about the Cyber Demons is you cannot get up close and personal with them, man. I mean, they don't stand for that kind of behavior. I was thinking about cutting it around here and leaving the rest of it a mystery, but I just find Bardo to be so fun. It can be frustrating, but it's just makes me want to really perfect it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with spoiling the end of my map for people. Bardo is available on Doom 1, Doom plus Doom 2 rather, on Steam or wherever you can find it. The Kex port. The reason that it doesn't work with GZ Doom is that GZ Doom never became fully compatible with id 24. I had a couple other maps where I was testing id 24 and I was waiting for GZ Doom to update for about a year and a half. And then GZ Doom kind of imploded. There's a lot going on in the community with that right now. I'm not very qualified to talk about that. I mean, I don't even really know that much about it, but it appears as if GZ Doom may be dead in the water. I never really thought I'd speak those words, but I believe GZ Doom development is going to be halted permanently. Now, somebody was telling me, I'm going back here to grab these cell charges because I'm going to need them for my BF&G. Somebody told me that one of the early test versions, like the dev versions of GZ Doom, not an official update, but one of the test updates of GZ Doom, actually is compatible with id 24, and they never just officially rolled that update out yet. So if you can find or modify a version of GZ Doom that supports id 24, by all means, feel free to play Bardo, but it was designed for and tested on the Kex port, the official Doom plus Doom 2. And there's lots and lots of WADs you can play in there. Finally, I killed those guys. And it's time to gear up. Bardo is also available on the Bethesda servers in the mod list. I was able to upload it with UMap info, and, well, it's searchable if you just search Bardo. Now, unfortunately, okay, 4 Cyber Demons in this room. This is the last chamber here. Like I was saying, unfortunately, it appears years ago, one of my old friends, must have linked his Bethesda account to my Steam account because it published Bardo under his name. And that friend has since passed away. So I can't even, I made a couple typos on the upload page of Bardo. I can't even go back and edit it. I can't delete it. I can't even unlink the Bethesda account from my Steam account. there's no way for me to access it. In order to unlink them, you've got to log in to your Bethesda account on BethesdaWhatever.com or fucking whatever. Bethesda support is useless. Steam support can't do anything. What I may do, because I do want to start publishing my WADs, I'm going to trying to use, there we go, come on now, I'm trying to get some close-up Calamity Blade here. Like I said, I'm going to try to experiment with id24 more. And I'd love to publish my WADs, not only on Doom World, not only on Doom Shack, but also officially on Doom plus Doom 2. I think I may even just open a dummy Steam account. Make a new Bethesda account just so that I can publish them under my name. I'll have to purchase Doom plus Doom 2 again, but that's negligible. It's actually very, very affordable, especially for the amount of, WADs you can play with Doom plus Doom 2. I can't praise it enough. It's personally my favorite port. Okay, come on now. I'm ripping right through them now. Let's go. Let's have it. We're right here at the end of it. Come on now. I'm getting nervous. I'm getting a little cocky. I'm getting greedy. Come on, let's hit it. This is it. Boosh. Alright, folks, that's Bardo. Thanks for taking this journey with me. I'd love to see how other people play, how other people do on it. Let's see what I got here for my time. The par is 20 minutes. And keep in mind, I forgot to quick save when the Archviles killed me, so I had to go back up to where I stopped recording. About 36 minutes. So I'd love to see how you guys do. No secrets on that map. I got 100% kills, 100% items. Congratulations, you escaped the Bardo. I was going to write out a whole little poem here, but I figured I should just release people. Once hey, if you escape the Bardo, you escape the Bardo. You know what I mean? You've earned it. So don't let me keep you too long. I may make an update to this map in the future. I just cranked it out in a week, wanted to get it out there, and now that it's out, I'm moving on to other projects, but if people would like, I could update this map. I was thinking about adding in some secrets. I was thinking about expanding this text screen like I mentioned and say something real meaningful. But as of right now, this is version 1.0, and that's where it might stay. Now, if people play this, if there are tweaks that people really want me to make, or if there's something I've overlooked, I'm more than happy to go back and edit Bardo. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to link the Doom World post in the description of this video. I'm going to link this video in the Doom World post. The WAD rather, is also available on Doom Shack, like I said. And even it is available on Doom plus Doom 2. If you search Bardo, it is available. I've got to get that Bethesda account thing worked out, but this way, you can play Bardo on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, anything that runs Doom plus Doom 2. It's the best way, in my opinion, to share mods. So I wanted to experiment with something, building it with id24 from the ground up. And this is going to be the framework of how I make maps from now on. Bardo is kind of the foundation of how I'd like to map going forward. Thanks for taking this journey with me, everybody. And enjoy. Bardo.